So in today's video, I'm going to be going over how I deal with the bugged out rock situation right now. There's multiple examples of me working with it, how to fix it, and things you can try. After this, you'll be breaking those rocks in no time. Let's begin. There comes a point in every man's life where he has to admit defeat, loss, failure. Maybe you just don't have it in you anymore. Maybe you just forgot how to break the rocks, Guapo. Maybe you're not the best. Oh, never mind. As you can see here, we're on the helix. This is an easy rock to break usually, but the resistance is bugged out. Even with surges going, it's just way too low. It's not climbing fast enough. Now, as you can see, it can still be done. If your modules are fresh and you don't mind losing them, that is. But instead of installing new modules, I'm just going to do a laser swap. Let's see how it reacts to decline 2 and its negative 45% resistance. As you can see, decline melted it with no issues. Now, if a rock's not working with a laser that it should normally work with, like the Impact 2 here, one option you have is using a stronger laser because it's requiring so much more resistance. So use something like the Helix 2 and just try to burn a hole through it with surges and stampedes, or see if one surge and one stampede works with it, or 2 surges, but you're going to want to push a lot of power through it. Before we do that though, I just want to see if the Klein can make an impact on this rock and save us the time and modules. That's a negative. As you can see, I'm trying to find a spot that lights up a little green, and once I find that, I know that's going to be one of the sweet spots. So I'm going to test using the stampede in one surge, and as you can tell, it seemed to like that. So I'm definitely not going to risk it by hitting another surge in case the second surge is bugged out and drops the power down. So one stampede, one surge did the trick. Now this is what I call small rock Tetris. After the initial break on one of these bugged out rocks, sometimes the smaller rock will not gain charge with whatever laser you're using. So what you want to do is you want to hit the other rocks and see which one lights up the target rock red. As you can see here, it's glowing red on the rock I want to break, so I have to break this one first. Sometimes it requires you breaking a few rocks or extractables before you can gain charge in the right one. Another sign to look for is another rock moving while you're hitting your target rock. At this point, it's like a separate mini game built into the mining game loop. And as you can see, after breaking that one rock, now we can gain the charge. Because of how mining used to be, people seem to think that you shouldn't move your laser around while charging up the rock. But in 319.1, I think the zone changes. as you're breaking the rock. Sometimes it wants it a little to the left, sometimes to the right, and the trick is to find that. Right here I've lost my modules, so we're pretty much screwed. But one little trick I've found is there's a sweet spot zone, and sometimes if you watch that green bar and it will stop and you stop your laser, that power can just drain all the way to the bottom and you're done. But if you watch the bar, sometimes if it stops and you move over slightly to another part of the sweet spot, it will gain charge. And then you move over again, it can gain charge. And then you move over again, it can gain charge. And you do this, you really have to watch it and watch that green bar while you're mining, while you're hitting this rock. So as you can see right here, it's declining. So I'm trying to search for that little sweet spot at once in that moment. And it's going, and it actually ends up failing once I get up to the green zone here. And remember, this rock was requiring surge charges and stampedes. Now all of a sudden it doesn't need it. So as you can see, it's gonna fail right here. And my main objective is I have to recover it as fast as possible, and the game just cuts me a break. So when it drops down, I desperately look for the next sweet spot at once. And as you can see here, I go left. I know it was lighting up there earlier. It's still dropping, but boom, I think I found it. Okay, it's gonna give me that. I'm gonna move again when it starts to slow down. Right about here. And look, it's gonna gain more charge. And every time I see it decrease a little bit, I'm gonna move my laser to another sweet spot zone I know where it's at, just to ensure I get the crack. Easy. Sometimes the issue is actually your modules. For some reason, they're bugged out. In this scenario, I decide to push it. I pop the stampede in both surges at the same time, and as you can see right here, it's not working out well. So at this point here, I'm actually hoping the stampede ends and I still have surge going so I can see if that's the problem. Watch that green bar go up as soon as the stampede ends. So it seems the issue here was the stampede module. So as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna take it off and put a new one on. I suggest you bring enough modules to refill all the module slots so that you start fresh, just in case you find another good rock after this. It's just good practice to always have fresh ones on. So as you can tell, the stampede and surges are both working right now. It's gonna go pretty quick. If all else fails, I want you to go and grab a severe gadget, put it on that rock, and brute force it with the helix, brute force it with the impact, doesn't matter, some with 3 module slots, and destroy the bastard. If you found the content useful, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subbed. You could also find me streaming on YouTube every night. Hope to see you there.